What's up? How you guys doing? What's up, Arif? What's up, Marcha? How you doing? Hello, Jung. What's up? It's good to see you guys. Good to have you here. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited to get started today and create a little bit of something together. What's up, Frank? Good to see you. How you been? So good to see you all. So good to be here. I'm excited to jump in. I feel like since last week until this week, I've been just grinding some like work and haven't had time to really sit down and create, and I miss it. I feel like I'm looking forward to today because I want to continue what we started last week a little bit, and then jumping into creating a little bit of branding around it, and do a little bit of that, but not without going into Discord first and looking at y'all's creations. So if you haven't submitted anything, you have a little bit of time. Dino, what's up? Good to see you. What's up, Idara? Am I missing somebody? Maybe not. But yeah, I saw some of your submissions, so I'll go in here and and I'll check them out in a second, and then we can go from there. We can start creating something. So the plan today, this is what I feel like it would be cool to do. You guys can let me know what you think. But the plan today, I feel like it would be super cool to continue this artwork that we created last week, not adding a ton of it to it, but then I want to mark it up and turn it into a little bit of a brand that we can add into like a drink. So I was thinking about like a I don't know what kind of drink it would be, maybe an IPA or something like that, because it does have like that kind of like characteristics of like something that would be a little bit more creative and less traditional. So maybe we can turn this into a drink, and I have a mock-up here that I downloaded earlier today that has like a frontal view that we can add to this. I think it could be a lot of fun if we turn this, finalize it, and then grab some elements of it, create a little bit of a branding inside of Illustrator, and then bring it all together. I feel like that would be super cool. It's a little ambitious, but we can get there. A lemonade, yeah, it could be a lemonade too. It does feel a little bit chaotic for a lemonade. I feel like a lemonade should be a little bit more optimistic, but it could be, Space Ale. I like that. Dino always coming up with the cool names. So yeah, maybe we can work on that a little bit. But like I said, let's jump into Discord and check out some of y'all's submissions for the week. Idara just posted the Discord. If you're new here and you're watching this for the first time, go ahead and first of all subscribe. Give it a thumbs up, even if you've been here multiple times. Give it a thumbs up so other people can see it and the algorithm recommends it to more people. And then if you want to, you can go into the Discord and you can go into the on the spot channel and submit your creation. And I'm going to be looking into those right now and reviewing them a little bit so we can do that together. Let me go into Discord real quick and check out y'all's submissions for this week. Awesome. So I saw a few of these already this morning. I saw Marsha giving me this was last week. So this is what we worked on last week, and this is how far we got it. And then we're gonna go from here and do a little bit more. But I'll look at some of the submissions here. Use Firefly preset to feel like two different dimensions blending into submitting one image using makeup and cartoonify preset. All right, so is this from last week or is this from this week? I think it's from last week. We looked at this already, I believe. But I think you were referring to the one that we reviewed last week, right, Arif? Oh, you took this one and then you did that effect. Okay. Yeah, I saw it last week after the show. That's why it looks familiar to me. But yeah, there's some presets that you can use inside of Firefly that will help you make effects if you don't know what to type. So this is really good with that. And this is a cool one. And I saw that you submit another one. I'm going to skip a few people here and then I'll go back to it. But I saw that I recommended last week, hey, what if you apply an effect over the whole image and then kind of blend them together? So I see that you're doing all those three in one. But this was really cool looking. Like I feel like it has such a cool look to it. From this image to this, I feel like you can, because I see you're breaking this out in 3 different sections, which is cool to show these 3 images. But I feel like a little bit more creative would be to maybe, I'm gonna download this image right here real quick. Oops, did I do it or not? I clicked out of it too soon. Okay, I'm gonna download this image, and I'm going to download this image, and then let's see if it lines up. It should. But what I'm thinking is that, where's the other one at? This one? Hello? Copy image. I'm gonna throw it on top of this one. Sweet. It's a little bit smaller, but I think we can make it work. Let's try to line them up real quick. I think this might line up. Does it? Kind of. So this is what I would do, Arif, with these images that you're creating. I would try to find a way to blend them together a little bit more creatively. And when I say that, I mean it's like instead of using a line that goes through them, maybe you spend a little bit of time like lining them up. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to line them up as easy as possible. One thing that really helps, and I've said this before, if you're going to edit an image and add an effect using AI, you need to make sure that the dimensions of your board is one of the presets on the AI. Like what I mean is like if you're doing a 3x4 and the AI can output a 3x4, that's the image that you want to do. Because if you do a square, for example, it'll do it wrong. So it'll be a nightmare to line up, like kind of what's happening here. But for this to work, I'm gonna kind of show you over here. So what I would do is that I would line them up sort of like this. I feel like they're kind of lined up, but not really. But then now you can start like kind of blending them in a little bit more. Like for example, let me bring this up top and use a multiply maybe. Then fade them out. Or maybe I can use, okay, let's use a normal. This is 0, that's why that wasn't working. Okay, so multiply. Okay, and you can see how that's playing into already the image. So what you could do is that you can now select some of the things on this image, like select color range, and then go into these darker areas, and then we're going to make a mask with that. So it's masking on top of the image, and then you can go ahead and delete some of the, or add some of the effects from the other one. So they're more, together in one image versus just splitting the screen, right? So doing some of that or bringing it back in some areas, I feel like it would be really cool. I'm sorry, my brush is looking kind of crazy. Yeah, blending them in together, I feel like it would be a better look than just splitting the screen. So I would explore that a little bit more, Arif. I feel like that would be cool. What's up, Lucas? How you doing? No, you're not late. We're reviewing some of the Discord things. So if you have something, make sure you submit it. Yeah, so I feel like this would be a good look, Arif, if you start mixing some of the real image with some of the thing, but doing it maybe in chunks too. So maybe you can go ahead and select this whole crack over here and then have that showing. I feel like that would be a little bit more like a better way to explore merging some of these images. All right, Marsha, you sent me these. I did try it last week. I haven't tried it this week. It's interesting that, before we're trying to make this float and go up, I guess because the AI understands physics and it's trying to make it drip if you put the canvas upside down. So it didn't work out for me. It wasn't following. It was kind of doing what it's doing here for you, that it wasn't following exactly what I wanted. And I want to make sure that it follows it. So I gave up on it. But I'm going to try it. It's always a gamble to try some of those things. Okay, we have this submission by Dino, which I saw in the chat. What's up, Dino? And I want to show you a little bit of what I would do with this one as well. I think it's super cool, and thank you for submitting that. I know it's your first submission, so you mentioned that it's my first submission, and I want to say congratulations on submitting. I know it's kind of like sometimes scary to put your work out there, but you think you're doing so good already, and you're layering things, and obviously you have experience with the softwares. So I would say thank you for submitting. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what I would do to improve this graphic just a tiny bit. I was looking at it right before the show, and I was like, it looks so cool. I feel like it needs a little bit more balance, but just a tiny bit more. So what I would do here is like, I'm gonna try to select these assets real quick so that I can move them around a little bit if it lets me do it. It's kind of bugging out. Okay, perfect. So let me select this guy and put him over here, and select this guy and put him over here. I just want to show you how like, you know, how close you are to having something a little bit more balanced. It's like I feel like you're almost there with the balance aspect, and your composition already is kind of cool looking. You have this kind of shadow over here, or like this person in the middle. By the way, I love Manchester City. I'm a Barca fan, so I like Guardiola, and you know, I love what he's doing in Manchester City. So it's so cool to see this. But what I would do here is that I would definitely use this guy a little bit bigger, and then maybe position him here, because as you can see, this is already kind of like contrasting the face a little bit better, like it's following that. And then I would move this guy over here, and then what you're doing here, let me go ahead and remove these two things. I think there's the remove tool. I was gonna say I think there's a remove tool. Definitely there is one, and it's right here. And I'm going to, what is it? What's happening? It's not working, is it? What's happening? Complete successful install. I don't know what's happening right now. Require complete being downloaded. Okay. I don't know what happened. It's not working. Yeah, something is freaking out. What we can do is that I'm just gonna paint over it just to show you guys real quick. I'm just gonna paint this guy like this. And I know I'm butchering your design. But yeah, so if you position these two things like this, first of all, it's helping you like balance this a little bit more. Like this is contrasting this image so well. And then this element being a little bit bigger is kind of following his eyes, and it's pointing in the direction that he's looking. So already by doing this, it's kind of like making your image a lot more dynamic, and in a way, like balancing your same assets that you have that look pretty cool already is like doing that like a little bit better, right? So I would think about some of these, if you're doing sports related posters, kind of like balancing where your subjects are looking. It's always good to have, if this person's eye or this, you know, photo is looking inside, this one is looking outside, and this one is looking outside. Sometimes it's better to have them either contrasting their eyes, so they're looking in both directions, or they're both looking in. So that's something that I would kind of change on this, and maybe his signature you can do really big here in the middle. But yeah, super cool work, and I'm so happy that you submitted this. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a piece of advice so you can go for it. Trying to read the chat and going on this at the same time. Texted you, bro, when you... All right, I'll check it out. I'll give you a check on is you know, I'm assuming it's on Instagram, so I'll give it a check. I'm so bad at looking at my Instagram, so I'm sorry if you guys have sent me DMs and I haven't seen them. Okay, but good job, Dino. I hope you're here. I don't know if you were here earlier today, but I hope you're seeing this feedback, and good job on submitting this. I'm so happy that you are that you're submitting work and that you're doing this super cool sports stuff that I love. All right, let me look. I think Lucas did submit another artwork over here. Yeah, we have two more. Okay, so we have Lucas. Yo guys, sorry for the delay. Here's my contribution for this week. Awesome. And use the same image, which is super cool. I love how you're using the same stretch, but then you added this super cool flower and this movement. Lost in Dreams. And I like this on the bottom as well. So super cool. I like the shift on the composition and the new idea behind it. I feel like it's so cool. For you guys that don't know, I normally share, or if you guys ask me, I would share the original image, and then you guys can create something similar. So great job on creating this. I feel like it's super cool, and yeah, it's balancing all of the things super well. So good job on that, Lucas. You always do an amazing job. A big hand for you, and also everybody else. Thank you guys for submitting. I know you guys, putting the time to submit, and I find it so amazing that you guys would take the time and do it, and I feel very encouraged by that. All right, so we have this work by AJ, and let's take a look at it. 2000 Souls, designed by AJ Fierix. Sweet. So you have this. I feel like I've seen this. I feel like you had this on Instagram, and I commented on it. I liked it. But yeah, I love these different elements. I see that you have all these softwares in there that are like burning or doing something about it. And I see your letters over here as well. Super creative, super cool. It gives me like video game poster vibes, which is super cool. Great submission, man. I even love this ripple effect that you have here. I don't know how you're accomplishing this or if this is an asset, but it all has the same style. So I imagine you made this. Super cool style. I love the stuff coming out. Great job on this submission. I would have probably faded a little bit the this texture that you have coming up. I would have probably faded it at around this point so it doesn't go into your design so much. I feel like that would have made it a little bit more epic down here, and then this kind of like texture fades up from here and up. You see a little grading, and you start seeing this pattern instead of having it go into. And I know you're probably doing like a smoke effect or something, but part of the design, and I've talked about this before, is like what you can see versus what you can make your brain see. And if you do that fade over here so that your design is more visible, their brain will continue the pattern even if the pattern is not down here. So it's a matter of like, how much can I do to suggest something and let people go from there. So super cool. Dino says, thank you. Appreciate your work and takes time to review the work. You trust me in Adobe Live. Dude, yeah, absolutely. I'm so happy to do it. And I feel like this is my favorite part of the show, is looking at y'all's work and kind of giving you feedback and growing together on that. And then jumping on and doing whatever we're doing today. But yeah, okay, let's jump into this. So from last week, I think the only thing that I added after the show was that I added this light that was here before, but I selected this and I added more green to it. And when doing like a sunset or like a sunrise like this, even if you add a little bit more white like this to the bottom of it, it always makes it glow so much more. So I'm doing in the same layer, I'm doing blue, green, and then white on the bottom of it. And when you do the white, it just makes it just shine a lot more. My computer's acting a little laggy right now. I don't know what's happening, but I hope it doesn't do that for the rest of the show. Yeah, but if you add a little bit of the white on the edges over here, it really looks like it's shining. So I would always encourage to also utilize some of that. So doing the darker color on the back, doing a color in between, and then doing the white, it will be super sick. So awesome. So this is what I'm doing here. I did a little bit of that. I'm adding a little bit more white to make it more dynamic and dramatic right now. And then the other thing that I wanted to do, and I did a little bit after the show last week, was adding this glow inside of here. I feel like this looks so sick because it almost looks like wires, like it's being controlled by something, or like fishing line when you are not supposed to see it, but you kind of see it. And all I'm doing here is I'm doing a soft brush. You guys know how much I love my soft brush. Just doing it really big, and then I'm gonna be painting on top of all these different things that are coming down here. And then I'm doing the same trimming. I love doing that. I love doing a dark color on the back, and then I follow that by doing a brighter color over here, kind of like that. And that makes it already like it's shining. And then the last thing that I'm doing is that I'm getting a brighter green, a lot brighter than this. And I'm going to be kind of like making these like glowing points, right? So it's like kind of like this, kind of like that. And guys, this is like something that everybody can do, right? Like I feel like using soft brushes and doing stuff like that. I'm just clicking. The skill is really on seeing it ahead of time and kind of like knowing what you want. And then I feel like I made the one that I did the other day. This one's a little bit more dramatic. I don't know which one I like better. Maybe we make the one from last week, because the reason why is because I want it to be a little bit more subtle, because I'm painting now on top of it. So I feel like that this will be good. So sweet. So all right, now let's go ahead and boom, put this right here. And then another thing that I wanted to do really here is that I wanted to that's why I have my brush like that. So I want to follow the same angle. You see the angle where this subject is falling here? I want to match that with my brush. So right now it's a little bit off. So I want to go ahead and like, kind of like twist it into it, like kind of lines up. I feel like it would be somewhere around there. AJ, no problem. I'll check it out. I'll check out the DMs, bro. Okay, and then what I want to do with that is that I want to be creating some glows like this. So I feel like that would be sick. I did a little bit of it already. But I feel like it looks next level. And these 3 tools we used a few weeks ago, we used them already to kind of mock up, or not mock up, but add a little bit of what would be done before through the camera raw filter. Now you can do with this new tool down here. So if you go to your effects panel down here, you have color and vibrance, you have clarity and dehaze, and you have grain. So I love adding grain, and you can do that pretty easily. You just click on that and just add some grain, and you can already see how like much better this. It looks like a photography, and it blends the whole image together. Before you had to go make a gray thing and then add noise to that and then use an overlay. Right now, this new filter just lets you add noise on top of everything all together, and it just makes it super, super cool. So yeah, and you can adjust the size of the noise, which is really cool. This is one trick that before, when I used to do a ton of composite, I would find, I just clicked my camera, I'm sorry. I would find different images in different places, and sometimes it was really hard to really just make all the images work together. One of the biggest tricks that I used to do was to add noise to everything, because it will make all these different images from different places look all the same. So so we have a noise layer over there, and then I added a clarity and dehaze, and then over here I feel like what I did, let me see, it just makes it a lot brighter and like contrasty. And to do that, you just like are improving the clarity on it, and just bringing all the white a lot. It's making it more intense on the lighter tones like whites. And you can dehaze if you want to. You can make it a little bit darker. It's really cool. You guys know how to use this already. And the last one that I did was the color and vibrancy. And what that does is like you have this panel over here that you can then turn into different things, right? So if you want to make it more magenta, you can make it more green. You can go with your image to just really finalize it. I would advise using this at the end, because you're gonna have a lot of different elements, and you kind of want to marry them together and like make them work together. So I would do that, and then let's jump back into what we wanted to do over here, which was like following the same direction. Now we can just click here, and I can make these glows happen, and I can make them in like kind of close to the glow that I had here. And because I'm doing it in the same angle of this thing, it kind of has this, I don't know, it blends into your eye, tricks you to see a black line around this when there's not. So like it kind of interacts really nicely with the artwork, and just adds a level of something there that is really cool. So I did some of these already last week, right after the show, and I think they're over here. They're a little brighter than this, but it's the same thing. One trick that you can do, if you have this and you want to make it look like it's glowing even more, you can make this thinner, the brush. I'm just making it thinner right there in the middle. And then I'm making it a little bit brighter. And then when I do that, if I click on the middle of it, it's going to extend like that. You see it? So yeah, it makes it glow even more. It's like getting like sci-fi movie vibes. And yeah, if you do, even if you do it on top of the subject, look how cool it looks. It just feels like something is on top of it, like it's like there's like a lens flare, like a light interacting with the whole frame. We got carried away. Maybe it's too much here. You're, I don't know who you're talking to. Oh, you're talking about Lucas. Yeah. Last minute submission from Lucas. That's the one we review, right? Yeah, we did review it over here. Yeah. Lucas is so talented. You guys are so talented. Good job on your submissions. Awesome. So I feel like that's a really cool trick to do little light effects like this. Like it just makes it so much interesting to have those layerings. And I feel like I wanted to do this with this artwork, right? I did it last week. This one that I did last week, I don't think it's kind of similar to what we just did right now. But then I did some other ones going vertically to go along the lines and make them look like they're glowing like this. So it's all the same treatment. It looks really cool, if I say so myself. I feel like it looks cool, and it goes really well with the artwork. So that's I feel like that's as far as I want to take the artwork before we just take it into that can and we start messing with it. I don't know how it's going to play out, because first of all, one of the things that I feel like is broken with this, and this is not going to work with the can, is that it's not the right size. The can design looks like it's a lot taller, and it goes down a lot more. So if we did that, we're gonna have to recreate all of these things up here, or we can click on the generate fill and see how that works. Generate fill works really well with like conventional images, I would say, with like photos and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's going to work well with this. We got to try it out. Another thing that I added here last week was that I added this shadow underneath the guy to make it look like he's falling into this kind of like whatever this is. So let's go ahead and open that can, see how this lines up, and then we can go into Illustrator and start like making our branding for it. What do you guys think? I feel like that would be the best plan. Or do you guys want to start like doing the branding before? Should we see what it lines? Let's see how it lines up with this can. So let me open the can right here. As a designer, I've learned how to deal with tight deadlines. Oh yeah, Lucas is saying how he's learned because Arif was like, hey, how do you submit this so quickly? Yeah, I feel like with time, like Lucas is saying, it's like, you know, you're able to just work around the clock and understand how to produce things really fast, especially according to I guess to your skills, right? So it's really cool. Let me see. Highlights over here and shadows. I'm taking a look at this, how this mockup was created, just to see what I need to do. But, you know, essentially open this over here, and then we're going to throw in our design. Hold on, I opened this on beta for some reason. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go ahead and open it in Photoshop, regular Photoshop. And then now we can go in here. Design, where's my design? Click on this, and then now we have our room right here for our design. And let's go ahead and throw this whole thing in there. I don't know if it's better to... Yeah, let's just throw the whole thing in there and see what happens. It might be super big, isn't it? It's not. It's bugging out. It's not working. Maybe what I need to do is that I need to flatten the gradient. Here it is. And then I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste over here. Did we do it? Is it working? Yeah, it's not. It's only bringing one layer. I know what we could do. We can make it. It says smart object. It's group. And then convert to smart object. And then let's bring that in. And then we can start working a little bit on our branding for this. What would it be? Guys, I don't know what's happening. Why is this bugging out? Okay, I'm gonna flatten the whole thing. It's the last resort and the least. You don't ever want to flatten an image because you definitely want all the layers. But in this case, I'm gonna flatten it because I just need to bring this in. You see what I mean? I feel like the top part is not great on the can. We'll see right now. I'm gonna send it in. So what happens is like when you save here, it's going to populate our can on the mockup. It should be doing that. Is it gonna do it? Yeah, it should be doing it right now. Where is it? Okay. The mockup is not working. Or is this? Yeah, because I see it over here. You guys see it? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's this. Let me try another direction of the mockup. I don't have time to figure it out right now, but let's see. This isometric one. Let me open this one on Photoshop and try it on this one. Okay. Anybody knows what's happening? Mockup seems to be a problem. Yeah, I feel like the mockup is bugging out a little bit. Okay. Before I do anything else and fix it, let me save it and see if it populates correctly. Over here, it's not populating correctly. Okay. Okay, if we can figure this out right now, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be going into Illustrator and just working on the branding first, and then we can figure this out at the end. I don't know what's happening. This should be, it's showing here the design, so I don't know why it's not really working the way it should. I don't know if we have any mock-up experts on the chat. Let me save it again, see what happens. Yeah, the funny thing is that I do see it here, but it doesn't populate correctly the mock-up. That's my bad, guys. I didn't test this mockup before we got started. I just jumped into it. I was excited, and I just jumped in. All right. Let's go ahead and bring the design over here, actually, and let's just work on the branding a little bit. Doesn't matter. We can leave the mockup for another time. Would have been cool to see it all together, but hey, it's not going to happen right now. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to bring it into Illustrator. I'm sorry for all the layering. All this, everything that's happening here is like kind of wild. All right. The best thing is going to be just to save this. And once I do, perfect, we're going to be adding it into our Illustrator. So I'm going to place, and then we're going to be finding the same file over here. So I'm going to go into my file, lives. You guys will get to see how organized all of my files are. Sweet. And then I'm going to paste it over here. Sweet. This is perfect. And let's find some inspiration for this. So I feel like I wanted to do a tiny bit of like typeface mixed with a little bit of images into here. So first thing that we want to do is inspiration. I feel like finding some inspiration is always super cool. And you can start gathering ideas pretty quickly. For example, I love how the images are laid out here, plus the type. I feel like that's super cool. So I'm going to copy this image, and I'm going to bring it into Illustrator. So I want to have this. What I love about this the most is the titling. You can see how well it could line up with this. So I feel like that would be a really cool way to have the title of the drink. And then I hate this sometimes when you go back on Pinterest, it just refreshes everything and you get to see it again. Okay, so let me find just more inspiration. I'm looking for more inspiration to see what else we could do. Another idea that I'm having right now as I say that is doing one of the parts of the can as just like lines. I don't know if you guys have seen those little tests of like discover what movie this is by the color swatches of it, and then you see a line with a bunch of colors. Something like that would be really cool. With using this image as the base and then having the text on top of it. But yeah, looking at some of these things, I mean, they're really cool. I like the way that we have the text. I have that other idea for for the coloring of it, which is just grabbing this one. Let me make that real quick so you guys know what I'm talking about. But it's essentially just grabbing a single pixel line from this. So it will be 1 by whatever it is. Is there a way to just enter this to click it? No, right? There's a way to do it with this. So if you do 4800 by 1 pixel, it'll create this image right here. The problem with this is like it's really hard to move it around and position it exactly where we need it to be positioned. I feel like I want to get some of the green, some of everything, maybe like that. And then I'm gonna select it, and then I'm gonna copy, paste, Remember when we paste in place to then be able to elongate this Command T. And then, yeah, I want these lines. I don't know why they're showing transparent like this, but we'll see when I finish making it big. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You guys see, it's like we're creating a little bit of an image pattern with the same colors that we have on the artwork. It looks really cool. I don't know if we should make it from a different location, but I like this one. I feel like this one is already kind of cool. It is kind of dark though. I want more greens, I feel like. Yeah, so let's make a little bit of a selection here from a different place. So I'm modifying this, transforming, and moving it to a new place in the artwork. Maybe here. It's a little bit more green. Perfect. I'm selecting again. Copy. And then paste in place. Which I always forget the little command for it. But now that we have it in place, now we just elongate it. Boom, boom. Click send. And yeah, there it is. It's another one that looks really cool. I don't know which one I like better. This one or this one. And then I'm going to be saving it. So let's save it as... Is it saving? It's getting there. I want to save this as okay, the disk is freaking out. Something is happening on my computer right now. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to screenshot it. And I'm going to bring it into Illustrator so we can see it there. I just need a visual reference so that I can keep carrying the design and just the letters. Sweet. So let's add this to our InDesign file. I feel like this texture will be super nice with the whole vibe. Let me add it over here. Yeah, so I feel like we're getting somewhere with this a little bit. Let's see. Make this one a little shorter. And everything should match. Yeah, I want this because I want some diversity for the brand a little bit so we can use somewhere. And I really love the way this text is laid out. I feel like it's great that it just generated there. One thing that I've been liking lately is that, and I'm going to type that space L. One thing that I've been liking lately is that you can find some type inside of Illustrator. And I feel like this is a new feature that they just shared. So when you click on Discover More, you can go into all these different things, but you can also filter by the type of font that you're looking for. If you want something more modern, if you want something a little bit more on the classic side of things, you can find some things like that. And then when you click on it, it's going to be finding something similar to that. Unable to find my request. Yeah, it looks like everything is having issues today, guys. It's like it's not helping me at all. But yeah, when you do that, I've done it a few times this week actually, where I'm looking for a specific font or I'm looking for something cool, and I'm able to just filter. Okay, I want more of a classical look, or I want like a thicker font. Obviously, you can do this inside of if you go to adobefonts.com, you can do it in there, and it's a lot easier to do it that way. Oh, this is what I was trying to get to. This Discover More prompts also this look over here, which you can look for clean. So this college one might be close to what we're looking for. And you can see there's a ton of different ones here until we find something. I really love this. I mean, I don't want to completely copy these, but it's something that I really like. I love that, how that style feels. So maybe it's something that we want to find something similar to. Maybe something like this. And then you click on this little download icon, and it's going to just add it to our library pretty easily. And then we should have it there. Echo regular. Okay, I'm gonna try echo. Click to activate. It should be activated. It's getting there. It's downloading. It should be poof. Perfect. All right, let's look for echo real quick. So discover more, clear filters. I think you have to type it. Echo. Echo regular. This one? Oh, this one's fun. I'm gonna download it. I do have one that I like on my library that I want to use. Let's see what this looks like. And that's probably really hard for you guys to see. So let's see, echo. Regular. Discover more. Here it is. Download it. Is it downloading? Yeah. Yeah, this one is fun. Space L. This one looks really fun with this background. I feel like it could work. Okay. Let's see on the spot. Official beer. Let's make it full screen or like uppercase. I mean, bring it down. Like it. Obviously we need some to darken this a little bit. So I'm going to be just doing a gradient on top of this. Pretty simple way to just darken an image. And what I like to do is that I like to make a double gradient like that and then make a 0 on this side. And I can use, boom, do that. Sweet. Yeah, so we have a little bit darker space here so we can see it. I do like this font, however, it's not that long. Like it's not, you know, like this. We can just do that, to be honest. I feel like that works. I do have another one called Formula that I really like. It could work. Let's see it. Formula. Yeah, I think that could work. Sweet. And I really love, you know, I love more of the elongated look. Almost feels like old school. Yeah, like 8-bit font. What was the font? The Elvon? Let me try that one. Is it on Adobe maybe? Elevon. Let's see. Elevon. Yeah, it is that vibe, the same vibe. It is, however, they're pretty horizontal. And I'm looking for something more like I can't remember what font it was. It was more like a pixel font. Maybe something like this. But again, elongate it to look a little bit more vertically long. This one's loading, should be here in 1 second. CC Pixel Arcade is the one that I'm using right now. I feel like this one should line up. Let's see, is it? Yeah. I like the distorted font look. Let me see if I make this the pixel one. What was it? CC? I forgot what it was. I can just mirror this. Perfect. Space L. It is a little bit fun. I don't know if it's too fun for this design. What do you guys think? Too fun? Like it takes all the seriousness of it away, which is kind of, it's cool, you know. And I also love, I love all the type treatment and stuff that you could do. Really cool things like to just make this. It's exactly what's happening up there on this other design, but just making it with the paragraph. You just like make it to where it elongates through the whole thing, and then we can just space it out. Pretty sick. Yeah, I don't know if this is the way to go or if we should go more of these routes, a little bit more serious. Let me swap it out so you guys can see it. Yeah. Both turned out well. I think I like the more serious vibe. Let's make this a little bit longer. It's a shame that mockup is not working right now, but let me fade this grading in a little bit more. And maybe just make it green. I do want this to be a little bit thinner. Yeah, so just balancing that out a little bit more. And then that is formula. Adding formula to here. I feel like we need some kind of icon or some kind of something. That kind of hints at this space stuff a little bit more. I don't know if I want to do a triangle or if I want to do a circle. What do you guys think? I always have issues making triangles in Illustrator, to be honest with you guys. I feel like the easiest way that I find to do is this way. Is there a there's no triangle tool, huh? Is there? Such a basic question I'm asking right now, but maybe somebody would know out there. Is there a triangle tool in Illustrator? No. There's a start tool. I know you can create a 3-point start with this, but still makes the yeah, it just makes it like this. Maybe somebody knows something that I don't know. So we can make it like this. Usually I just do this, but then you have these 2 points in the middle. But then I I normally end up making it with a square. And maybe the way to go is to do something like this. Copy paste. This is what I love about this show. We can just riff, like play around with things, see what happens. And there's no really a brief. There's nothing we have to follow. We can just do what we want to do and create something cool. Yeah, look how cool this icon is. It's already pretty dope. Make it a little bit bigger. Maybe we can make this one like blue inside or something. Just to like kind of match what's happening outside. Make it a little thinner. Yeah, look at this. It's looking cool. I love how I hype myself up. Okay, we need a little bit of type that we can put on this thing. I feel like I want to copy that, and then we can just boom, type on text on the edge, and we're gonna do that. I'm just adding the same type that we have on the outside. I'm gonna be doing a couple of spaces here, or spacers. And then I feel like I want to copy this. Copy. And paste, 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 paste. Sweet. Let's see if we make a 4. It'll be too short. If we make a 6, is it too long? I think it is. 5.5. Trying to adjust it here so that it fits. It looks organic. This reminds me of the Mercedes logo. That you're right. It does look like a Mercedes logo. Is the Mercedes logo like thinner or thicker? Maybe we make it look like, let's make it look less like a Mercedes logo. You're right. Or maybe we just make it more like this. It does have like a space vibe to it too, right? It looks, to me, it looks kind of cool. It feels like it does follow a little bit of the design cues of the rest of the stuff that's happening down here. But yeah, you're right. It does look like a Mercedes logo too much. Now I can stop seeing it. So maybe we do. I do like the look of the star though. Can we add another point from here? Yes, we can. Boom, maybe we may get a star. What if we did that? Yeah, no copyright strikes, guys. Okay, so maybe we make it a star like this. This works too. This makes it more like a Space Force type of deal, like more, you know, like a military thing a little bit, doesn't it? What do you guys think? Should we do this or should we do 3? 3 looks, it does look like a Mercedes logo. I didn't see it before. Now I can stop seeing it. Let's do 5. Let's do 5. Sorry, Mac. You're totally fine. We're playing here. This is fun. I feel like something like that would be cool. I like this. I like this. Let's just make it a little bit thinner. In all of them. Maybe a 2. Is this a 2 as well? Yep. This is a 2. A little shorter. And then we can maybe add a little circle here. Boom. It does look pretty military now. I like it. It's kind of cool. I feel like everything's too green. What do you guys think? Oh, it does have a triangle? The polygonal one? This one? Let's see. Oh, you're a pro. That's the way to go. Okay, I've never tried the polygonal one. Okay, so that's how you make a triangle in Illustrator. Good to know. Good to know. I'm like, I feel like I should know that. Thank you for sending that. Okay, sweet. So we have something like this. Part of me was like, should we make this one right here solid? We didn't. We just totally ignored. I'm thinking about this. I'm like, we totally ignored the beer. A nail is a beer, right? This is how much I know about beers, guys. What I like is that we totally ignored that this is a beer, and I'm just doing a random. I'm doing a random, kind of like whatever this is, with ignoring totally any call outs to a beer type of thing. I feel like we should have done something that looked like a beer or that had some elements of a beer. But maybe there's something else that we could try some of the time. But I do like this. I feel like this is so cool. Like this little thingy that we came up with. It could be made even cooler, I feel like. And it's not symmetrical at all. It's not. Let's make sure that it is. Everything is symmetrical here, guys. You select and boom. There it is. Sweet. This one, I want to move it because it's tripping up a little bit down here. Sweet. Yeah, I feel like we needed to do some call out to... do I understand Portuguese? No. Is that Portuguese? That was Portuguese. Faz un... Well, it's pretty similar to English and Spanish, I feel like. Well, to Spanish. Has or like faz. Tiene. Tiene is in Spanish. I don't know how I understood that, but it's Portuguese. I feel like it's so similar to Spanish that you could probably, I picked it up without even noticing. But yeah, thank you for that recommendation. That's exactly the way to do it. I'm wondering if you could do, we should do a gradient in here. Maybe a circular gradient in the middle. Okay, maybe. Starting to look a little cheesy with that gradient. I feel like I like the flat better. Yeah, I do. I like these. I feel like we need another one that has more of a beard or something, but I don't know enough about beards to even know what to do in it. Do you guys know? Maybe we should do a deep dive on like understanding what goes into it. I've seen some of the like wheat, maybe the wheat stuff. So maybe we could do something like that for these in the future. I do like this kind of like more this kind of typeface that is alluding to describing the product a little bit more. I feel like it's a functional typing or typeface. It became like a trend on a lot of things. I'm sure. I mean, it's gonna refresh again, but like a little bit of like functional type. I feel like it's called functional type. Is it what it's called? Yeah, where you get a lot of these kind of like things like this, right? There's describing, well, this one went somewhere else, but it's describing a lot of what's happening. I like this vibe a lot for something like this. I feel like I would want to expand on it a little bit more. You guys can do a little research on it too. It's always good to kind of dive into a particular thing. It's really good. I don't know if you guys are familiarized with Arena. On this one right here, on this, it's kind of like Pinterest, but you can dive in a little bit more into, I'm not logged in, but when I log in, you can dive into different subjects. And for example, this functional typeface could be a really cool thing to dive into and understand it a little bit more. Something that I've been enjoying to do lately, like just diving into different things, understanding a little bit more about it, and knowing how to do it, how to pull it off, and the things that go into it. Yeah, like mixing different things. I feel like it's a lot of what we could do a little bit with this. Maybe adding now that I saw this kind of like hand painted stuff in the back here with this huge brush, something like that behind this would be really cool. I feel like kind of like a big thing like this, and I did it with the gradient, but it would be really cool to have something like that on the back. That's why inspiration is so needed, right? You might not do exactly, in this case we kind of copy the font pretty closely to this, but you don't need to do it exactly like it. Just drawing different ideas from different places and kind of working your way into it will be more than enough to create something new and something exciting. But yeah, this is all we did today. I feel like we could have done a little bit more with the brand. I definitely wanted to expand it a tiny bit more, but we're running out of time. And but yeah, thank you guys for suggesting all these different things. I do like the little seal that we make here. For next week, make sure that you're submitting your things if you want to submit something. And I would love to see it. To see a little bit more of your your designs, what you're working on, even if it's not super related to what we're doing every week. Like for example, you don't have to do a packaging for something like this. You don't have to make a branding. If you want to share something that you're doing, that you're working on, that you're passionate about, I would love to see it, and I would love to review it on the show. And like always, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate you all spending time with me every week. I really, really look up to it every week. And I'm thankful to have you guys and to have you guys in the chat and commenting. So I'll see you guys on Discord, and I'll see you guys around. Have a good week. I'll see you next week. Ciao.